Hey everyone, me Kevin here with the news on COVID, the election, and stimulus. First on COVID, cases are down from their highs over the last 4 days. We are down to 74,236 cases and 427 deaths, much lower than the figure that we saw over the last few days. The stock market is green across the board on this news. However, folks, remember, we've been saying for 6 months now that cases and deaths always come in lowest on Monday through Tuesday. Then Wednesday through Saturday, they seem to come in much higher. Additionally, the amount of people who know somebody who has COVID or had COVID after they get COVID themselves has now doubled to 76%. It used to be that if you got tested positive for COVID, you wouldn't actually know anybody else who had COVID. Now, most people do. The COVID drug that we hope could save many lives in severe cases, Regeneron, is unfortunately very complicated to manufacture, and the drug will have to be rationed. This is the drug that Donald Trump took, the antibody cocktail. The drug, which is made in the ovaries of Chinese hamsters and then grown in massive beer-style vats, takes 3 to 4 months to grow. And current estimates are that Regeneron will get their 50,000 vial batch up to 300,000 vials by early 21, and by the end of 2021, they expect to have 2 million doses. Unfortunately, and this is where it gets a little weird, you have to actually be near a facility that has Regeneron because there's so little Regeneron available. Then you have to be deemed likely to have a severe case of COVID to actually get it. But if you get sick, you don't get Regeneron, and then you have a severe case of COVID, you're not allowed to get it anymore. On lockdowns, France, Germany, and London are partially locked down, along with Greece and Austria now increasing measures. Angela Merkel calls, as the Chancellor of Germany, calls this a once-in-a-century challenge. She says, quote, "This is a very big test of our resolve, one that we haven't had since World War II." That's Germany saying that. On the election, 94 million ballots have already been cast. That's 68% of all of the ballots that were cast in 2016. This is likely because of COVID. On Trump and the GOP, yesterday, there was a lawsuit to throw out 120,000 ballots cast through a drive-in voting site in Texas, actually multiple drive-in voting sites in Texas. So far, the Texas Supreme Court has blocked this lawsuit from proceeding. Donald Trump has also stated multiple times to his private staffers and confidants that if it looks like he is, quote, ahead, he will claim a victory Tuesday night, even if forecasts do not call the election yet. And Donald Trump has also suggested he is preparing his lawyers to fight around the country. This also comes as Trump wants to call vote-by-mail ballots counted after the November 3rd election invalid, and this is even if they were cast and postmarked on time. Currently, there are 10 times as many vote-by-mail ballots expected as we saw in 2016. Republicans believe that these vote-by-mail ballots tend to lean left. Trump has also stated that he would consider firing Dr. Fauci after a rally last night where attendees chanted, "Fire Fauci." This comes as Biden says Trump will not steal the election, and Biden says Fauci should be respected, not fired. On taxes, the Biden tax plan is still developing and still in progress. However, Biden has said that we have other wood to chop first, and we will probably take a wait-and-see approach on tax policy. Instead, they're going to focus on COVID and the recovery first. On stimulus, Nancy Pelosi has reiterated that if Biden wins, a deal is still possible in the lame duck session of Congress. This is a high priority for Nancy Pelosi and Democrats because she says there's too much work to do once Biden is in office. She is confident that Biden will win. She says, quote, "We will want to have a clean slate going into January." Joe Biden has expressed support for the HEROES Act, which would provide $1,200 stimulus checks, unemployment benefits retroactively to the beginning of September, another round of PPP funding, EIDL funding, housing and rental relief, and much more. However, if Republicans lose the Senate and the presidency, it is possible that Republicans could take a "it's up to Biden" approach to pass stimulus. This is basically political paralysis. Nancy Pelosi says the administration has failed miserably, and Mnuchin criticizes Pelosi for her all-or-nothing approach. This means the worst-case scenario is we do not see stimulus until February, given the heated animosity between both sides. And unfortunately, this is happening as we are going into a very large second wave. Both sides have called for stimulus checks, but Trump has recently criticized Pelosi for saying that she only wants to bail out blue states and doesn't actually want to help people. Numerous Republican aides on Capitol Hill also believe that Donald Trump lost interest in stimulus when the potential for a political gain for the election faded. Casey Mulligan, a White House counsel economist, said, quote, "I don't think he's got much interest in stimulus. He doesn't like to give anything for free, and I don't think he's going to start now. That's not his style." This is in sharp contrast to Donald Trump's comments just a few weeks ago when he stated that he wants larger stimulus to go to the people than even what Democrats want. It's also been so long that, remember this, the PPP program ended on August 8th. Unemployment ended the first week of September. Stimulus checks mostly came and went in April and May, with 60% of those going to groceries and utilities. We're in November now, and the government has not acted. We have 4 fiscal cliffs coming. Eviction protections, unemployment protections for gig workers and self-employed workers, and student loan forbearance all ending on December 31st, and the U.S. budget ends on December 11th. The CEO of the American Bus Association says that 30% of their bus operators, their facilities, may go bankrupt. Another White House spokesman, Brian Morgenstern, did say that Trump remains committed to a stimulus deal, but does not want to give in to, quote, a liberal wish list. The Economic Innovation Group calls this lead up, as in this no stimulus, an enormous cost to the economy, and says that this will create a huge, quote, self-inflicted wound on an already destabilized economy. Folks, there's the update for today. This should make you want to get life insurance in as little as 5 minutes, which you can do via the link down below. You don't have to talk to anybody. Apple Pay, Android Pay for it. Get 3 free stocks with Webull. They extended that promotion through the middle of November. Just deposit $100 to get the most expensive free stocks. And folks, we'll see you next time.